put my sugar in my cup, put my coffee in my cup, put my milk in my cup, and then it just went cloudy.
Oh.
And then I wasn't convinced. I thought maybe just the cup had like something in it, so I tried some milk and then I almost threw up in milk.
Did that once, had a car and I smelled the milk. I was like, it smells alright. I'm going to taste it. Taste it, I was like, no.
No, or the other day when he said, "Oh, can you smell this?" And I went, "Yeah, it smells okay." And then he just poured it into his coffee, and it was lumps.
I poured it into a cereal, and a big lump come out, and I was like, "Oh no!"
It's those sad adult moments. You kind of got to realise.
Oh, being adults. That's what we should talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, welcome to Young Concrete Podcast again, guys.
Yeah.
For anyone watching, obviously we've got Brett and Charlotte, who have been here before, but are now here as a pair. Because I have that rule where I don't let people back on unless they bring a friend.
We're also together.
Well,
so.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you have to bring like your partner.
No, yeah. I should have.
Otherwise, the one we did with Nathan and Sean was weird.
I should have bought Chris Mudd, although he's been on too recently.
Yeah, he's been on this year.
Because I hate Brett.
You got to obey the rules. Yeah,
You've got to obey the rules. I thought there was only one rule.
Oh no, there's one rule for the podcast, but there's like rules on timing and stuff. I don't let people come back if they've been in within a year.
You're a strict taskmaster.
And if they come back again, they have to bring someone new with them. That's
Okay, I didn't even know that. There you go.
I don't know if I'll multiply that. So if you guys come again, you have to bring a third person.
Oh my god.
Until eventually,
What's it called when?
it's just me and an audience.
What's it called when cells split? Mitosis?
Sure.
Yeah, so it's Brett and Charlotte mitosis.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a concept that I will now create. Hang on, if we bring another person, do they have to have been on the show before, or is it?
No, they can be new.
Oh, okay.
Because
Cool.
like when Mel came, she brought Sarah
Okay, cool.
to talk about Witter stuff. So
Brett and Charlotte mitosis. It's happening. This is where like you get on the YouTube thing and it's not mitosis, and then loads of people are like, it's not mitosis.
Nobody watches this anyway. Nobody's going to complain. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, I was looking through the old podcasts and seeing like who did what and what we discussed, and when we coined the classic phrase of stress chameleons.
Yeah, I missed that
one.
one.
We talked about stress.
Yeah. Brett doesn't get stressed apparently.
Not about serious things. About little tiny things I get stressed about.
I was going to say.
So not you don't get stressed
At home. So like at home, I get stressed loads. Everywhere else.
Everywhere else is fine.
Yeah.
Steal some milk.
You haven't assaulted any furniture yet. Like some people we know.
I put milk in there.
It's fine.
What have you done? Oh,
Just spill milk.
I shook my
It's
tongue.
fine, don't cry over it.
So we were talking about... God damn it. We were talking about what we were going to talk about, and then Brett stressed out about it, and so he didn't want to talk about the thing that I chose. So...
Wait, so my stuff's not serious stuff? How dare you not take this seriously?
Okay.
I mean, we discussed like stress and management and stuff like that, but when we talked, we discussed feminism.
Yeah.
And we like got heavy into that. But then I was watching through back past the end points, and it gets very light towards the end. To say they're both quite heavy subjects.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I said to you I wanted to talk about women.
Yeah.
And then it ends up talking about feminism.
Well, yeah, I mean they go hand
and
in
then
hand.
Brett didn't even choose the subject.
No.
Because
It was a bold move. It paid off.
It doesn't surprise me.
I mean, in comparison to last time we spoke, I don't think either of you changed, is what I described you as. I think I described you as a poet.
Yeah.
And Brett's, a game
guy.
person.
A game guy.
Pretty
A
much.
game guy, yeah.
Fun guy.
Yeah. So, subject matters all over the place. But you've struggled to come up with a topic for this time.
Well, no, I put loads of topics forward, and then Brett was like, no. So originally I said relationships,
Yeah.
because we always seem to talk about relationships, like other people we know that are in relationships, or us being different and weird. Like our family's kind of responding to us strangely because So I work a day shift, and Brett works a night shift.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, how do you exist as a couple? And you're like, what? That's a weird question. Like, we've been together for a long time now. If it didn't work, then surely you would know by now. It's like
How long have you been together now? Like,
6 years.
7 years in December.
I like that you had to confer for that answer.
When's our anniversary, Brett?
Oh.
December.
The.
Pass.
You can do this. I believe in
It's
you.
before the 10th.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to commit to. It's a single digit.
I mean, you've only got 9 to go
9.
from there, so you'll be right.
When's our
I want to say
birthday?
the 4th.
It is the 4th.
Okay, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Right, so one time, this is a great way to start.
Okay.
I said to Brett, everyone calls my mum Roz.
Right.
And then I said to Brett once, I talked about my mum loads. We've been together for about a year and a half at this point, maybe 2 years. And I said, oh, Brett, one time he forgot my birthday. Not like he forgot it altogether, he just couldn't remember the date of it. And then I said, hey, that's bad. What's my mum's name? And instead of just sticking to Roz, he went, is it Rosonda? And I was like, you what? And he was like, is it Rosonda? And I was like, Rosamond. And he was like, oh yeah. Oh, I just don't remember things that aren't important. Like my birthday and our anniversary and my mum's name.
I mean, I'm terrible with days. I forget my own birthday. Because I forget November exists. Like, I'll get to October and I'll think December's next.
Is it November 28th?
No.
Damn it. I'm so proud of myself
Way
there.
off.
I think that's my cousin's birthday.
Yeah, I don't know. I get to October and I'm like, there's nothing going on in November.
To be fair, I think you
November
get to a
doesn't
certain
exist.
point where we don't really celebrate anything big, do we? Like, other than Christmas, we don't really celebrate anything big. Like, we don't do we don't not on these Valentine's-y couples. We only have dinner on our anniversary. And on our birthdays, one of us or the other of us is normally working. So, nothing too exciting. But, yeah. Everything I suggested to you, you didn't want to talk about. And then we've ended up talking about it anyway.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm kind of curious if that's like a thing you developed over time, though. Like, not celebrating things. Like, when you started going out, did you used to do big things? Or were you just like, no?
Nah.
Well, we were at uni.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any money to do anything. So I think it's potentially where
That's
it
fair.
stemmed from.
Yeah.
That we never had any money to do anything, and we just hate that. When it was coming up to Valentine's Day, and I could see that Brett was getting stressed out about it. Like the first Valentine's Day we spent together, and then I think that was the year This Is 40 came out. That dumb romance movie with Paul Rudd and blonde lady. I think it was Kirsten something. Anyway, it was like the anti-love film because it was all about the fact that their marriage was breaking down, and they were like 40 years old and just didn't know what they were doing with life.
Yeah.
And like Brett suggested we go and see that just because we were so anti. Like one of our friends was going out for like a Valentine's Day club night, and we were like, yeah, and that's not where we're at right now.
It seems like a terrible idea. A Valentine's Day club night.
It was
it's like I don't.
It was at the
understand
engine
singles
shed
club
as
nights.
well.
Yeah. It's like one of those like, oh, if you're single, you go to a club night. Like that's a terrible idea. Like trying to couple romance and drunkenness.
Yeah.
That's just going to end badly.
All really well.
Well,
I imagine the success rate is really split.
I don't know, maybe I think like it promotes that idea that like if you go to a club, Romeo's going to be in the back of it. It's like Romeo's not in a club. He's like
No, didn't he kill himself?
doing something, yeah.
You used a bad example here, Romeo and Juliet.
Right, Prince Charming's not there. He's not going to the club. He's busy doing something,
Just imagine Prince Charming coming to the club.
Yeah,
Yay.
it's not just like posted up in the back of the club behind all these dudes.
But yeah, so we just didn't celebrate things.
Makes it sound really like...
It does.
We sound really grinchy, don't we?
Yeah.
Incredibly underwhelming.
No,
you do celebrate things because you go out, you do things.
Yeah.
It's not Valentine's Day.
I think we don't do anything lovey-dovey.
No.
Brett sometimes won't even kiss me in public.
It's true.
So you're in a loveless relationship.
Yes.
Let's get Uncle Phil on you here.
Oh God. No. Because we buy each other gifts. We'll like buy each other.
Defend your relationships.
We'll buy each other gifts and stuff. Like we buy each other gifts and stuff for anniversary, but for Valentine's Day, like for example, tell like say what you think about flowers.
Don't like buying flowers because in like a week they're dead.
Okay.
you might as well just throw like what, £10 to £15 in the bin, because you know.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he does buy anything, it's more permanent than that. But then, yeah.
What about planned?
Like,
And then whether it dies is the responsibility of the person you hand it off to.
Oh, maybe that's what I'll do.
oh, that's too much responsibility. But no, we just don't really. We always just say, like, we're always those really cliche couple that goes, "Yeah, look, we love each other every day. Why do we celebrate Valentine's Day?"
I understand the Valentine's Day thing. Because even in my last relationship, we never did Valentine's Day. It was like, it didn't seem pointful to get one big thing for one big day when you could get things throughout the year.
Also, I mean, actually, there is a catch to this we haven't mentioned. It's a week before my birthday.
Yeah.
So it's exactly
that does create problems.
It's exactly 7 days before my birthday. So whenever I've ever had a boyfriend before, I said, "Oh, don't waste your time getting me something for my birthday and Valentine's Day because it's really close together." And almost all of them have gone, "Okay, cool," and they've got me something nice on my birthday, and I've not really. We've just had food on Valentine's Day, and then our anniversary is on the Christmas market weekend, pretty constantly. Like whenever the Christmas market is in town, it's our anniversary. So we're always doing that instead.
So I get dragged up the hill.
How many times this year was it?
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4 times? Because of the snow. It would have been more if it was no snow. Snow.
I don't mind. No, it was good. I like the Christmas market.
You don't have to be nice to me
Like
because we're on
biscuits.
camera.
Let's buy biscuits.
Brett just doesn't like walking up the hill, but then walks up the hill and goes, "Oh, this is really nice."
See, I want to like the Christmas market, but I can't. I just get there every year and I get annoyed whilst I'm there.
I think
It's
that's
just like the people who just stop. So you're walking along, you're looking. It's like the classic thing of like in the middle, you walk along and you like look as you walk.
Yeah.
If you want to look at a thing, that's when you sort of hop out of the middle towards the bit. It's the people who just stand there and look. It's just like, dude, get out the way.
we just sound really grinchy.
I am just a miserable old man.
We're both miserable. We're a miserable old man and woman. Although I think we're really different. I think that's actually helps our relationship. As he sits in silence. My mum always says like Brett's really quiet and I'm really loud, and then that balances out. And Brett's quite creative, and I'm more logical and less creative.
But you do poetry.
Yeah, that's different. I think
And
Brett
that
can
does
draw
management.
really well. He can write really well. He can think about things in a different way to me, but is really lacks confidence in going, "Look at me and how good I am at this thing." And then I'm like, write things down on a piece of paper, I read them. Like, and that's it. I try and draw and I can't.
Wow.
I try and...
Love it.
I think that like talking to a few poets, like there's quite a few who do just poetry and they don't think of it as like a creative thing.
It's just Ryan. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's
think
just
it's
they
because
just see
it's
it's just writing.
Yeah, I think it's because as well, a lot of poets I suppose, write about things that are real or have happened to them, so it feels more autobiographical, like more biographical. What's the one when you write it yourself? Biographical. Autobiographical.
But then, would you think that if you saw like paintings which were based on real things?
No, I
Just a
suppose
picture.
not.
Yeah,
It's just a
Just a
picture.
photo.
it's just because I see it as like I don't see it as I'm creative. I just doodle, and doodling's doodling. See, I don't know.
But you're an artist, and that's creative.
Most of my time spent with a microphone at the moment.
That's still creative, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're having coffee. If having coffee is creative, there's like a huge industry of creativity on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's creative. Like podcasts and stuff, I would class as creative.
Yeah. I agree.
I like that you two are quite tired.
Mm.
I can feel the caffeine meters. Like,
This is like my third coffee of the day already. Oh,
I'm sorry.
it's alright. Having a brief interlude.
I'm just in the middle of something at the minute. Can I call you back? I'm just in the middle of something at the minute. Can I call you back? See you in a bit. Bye.
That's the first phone call.
50 episodes.
In 50 episodes. Because that's the first phone call which has ever occurred during a podcast.
Sorry.
Well, put a smudge now, that's it.
Max.
I'll never be
That's a
invited
2-year
back.
ban, that.
Oh, oh no. Will you still be my friend?
Yeah.
No.
No.
We gotta take some time off from this.
You said that there was no rules. I thought phones off wasn't a thing.
I did. I had on the other day. I had Shannon the other day, and she asked if she could swear.
Can you swear?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've never said you can't swear. But people just become really polite when there's a microphone.
To be fair, I think it's because I go on the radio, and I'm not allowed to swear on the radio, so I think my brain goes, microphone, can't swear. You should come on my radio show.
It's far too early on a Saturday and Sunday.
I can pre-record it.
No.
But then do you not class that as creative? Because you just said podcasts are creative, so being on the radio is also creative.
Oh, I suppose so.
So you're underselling it.
Yeah, good point.
Underselling the things you do.
Maybe I am. Maybe we're both creative.
Maybe.
You're more than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
But you
interesting.
actually draw and paint and stuff. Maybe you do more traditional creativity.
I don't draw much.
So do you see what you do as creative?
No. No, 'cause I don't think, like... I'm saying, like, I do tune my horn a little bit with a painting. But I was like, but it's not, it's more of just colouring in.
Okay.
I think we're both really underselling ourselves. Maybe.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I like that you started off and you were saying we're both very different. Brett undersells himself and I'm very loud. But both of you have the same issue of you don't think you're creative, yet you do lots of creative things.
Good point. Maybe. Well, we do approach other things like differently. So, for example, traveling, right?
Okay.
Brett is like his mum, and literally 3 days before going away, he's like, "Have we got the passports? Have we got this? Have we got that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's all one thing. But have you seen it? Have you looked at it? Have you seen it in the thing? Is it there? Is it in the thing? Yeah, it's in the thing, Brett." Okay, 10 minutes later. "But have you seen it in the thing?" Yes, Brett, it's okay. And I'm just really, really chilled out. It's like when we went to the airport, we were going through the security thing, and Brett's like... And then it's me just going, it's like, now you look like you're carrying a bomb. Like, now you look like you're carrying something you shouldn't be, because you look really shifty. But, and then you still got your stuff taken out because you didn't listen to me.
Yep.
He's on a list now. Went through the airport and left loads of stuff in his
I
bag.
sampled my toothpaste and I was like, dude, that's expensive.
That's what he's most offended about, is toothpaste. Not the fact they
I
went
didn't
through his
realise
bags
that, like,
and
you have to put stuff in a clear plastic bag and then hold it as you go through.
If it's like a liquid.
I was like, oh, if it's in my bag, it's fine. As long as it's in a clear plastic bag, it'll be okay. No, it wasn't. That stopped me. I'm like, yeah, you take this out. I was like, okay, cool. No, yeah, you can take your toothpaste used to be in there as well. I was like, it's not really a liquid. It's more of a paste.
It's in the name, Brett.
And then there's like,
Don't
oh, I
argue
need
with
to,
the TSA.
I need to sample it. So he opens it, pulls off the foot. It's a bloody new one as well. They had two. One that's half used, one that's brand new. He takes a brand new one, doesn't he? Just
See, he's really quiet until you get to like issues like this.
dick.
I mean, there's very few times I've been through an airport and not been stopped. I feel like I fit the profile.
No, like,
Like, I
say
definitely
something.
fit the profile for
But,
the
like-
terrorist. Like,
as soon as we get to the other side, chill.
yeah.
I went to America. Chill.
Yeah, I didn't get stopped on the way to America. I got stopped on the way to America when I went to New York once. When I was like 13. They're like, "Hey, we're going to stop to search you." I was like, "I'm 13. They're like, "Oh, you look a lot older than that. I'm like a terrorist."
I got stopped coming back from San Diego because I had a pen knife in my bag.
Why did you do that?
Because, well, so we were going to the airport and, like, we were in a bit of a hurry and I put my bag on the thing and it was overweight.
Mm.
It was like, it's either going to cost you like £100 to take this overweight item, or you can just take something out and put it in your backpack.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, grabbed the first 3 items which were in my bag, which was like my camera stuff, some like other bits and bobs, and then like a random satchel which I carry extra stuff in, like film. Threw it all in my backpack, did not realise that there was a pen knife in one of those. So then when I get to the airport and they scan my bags and they pat me down, she's like, "So is there anything in your bag that we should know about?" I'm like, "No." Completely denying everything. And then she takes it out and is like, "Yeah, it's a massive pen knife." And this is like, ooh. It's like, I'm just going to abandon that here if that's okay. It's fine.
You're on lists now.
What did I walk through? I walked through somewhere and they're like, "Anything in your pockets?" I was like, no. So about 3 steps later, I was like, yes, wallet, phone, keys, here's everything in my pockets.
No, the best thing is, you know, in some of the airports now, they've got those things where you stand and you have to do like this, and then the thing goes round. So I've been in one of them before.
Oh,
have you?
Before.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I walked in, I put my hands up, and the thing sort of went round, and I was like, oh, I'll go back in a minute. It's not going back in a
And he
minute.
was just standing like this.
It's like, sir, you can come out, you can come out now. And I was like, oh, okay.
I do enjoy the fact that regardless of the airport I go through, no one searches my beard. Like,
Have you never had the with the comb? Like they do that in prison, like where they get the thing and then like, whoop.
no, like I could hide something in my beard quite easily, and yet I get patted down, but they've never looked in my beard. And I'm like, I could fit a pen knife in my beard.
Right, so I don't know if you, when they pat you down, do they ever like feel around, like, do they ever pull your waistline of your trousers?
They have done.
Right, so with women now, when they get pat down when you're a woman, they like pull your straps for your bras, but they pull them quite hard. So like you're standing there, and then they get it, and they pull the elastic on the back of your bra, and you're like, look, they're trying to like seatbelt you if you were in school. You're like, yeah, there's nothing in there. Jesus Christ. They get quite handsy now. They get quite handsy these days.
Getting bolder with their checks.
I mean, it's another woman, but like, it's too much, too intense. Talking about being grown-ups, like when we went on our first holiday together, I never realised how many things I used to get my mum to like do and check. Like I kept trying to give my passport to Brett to hold on to, like because that's what we used to like my whole passport. Like and then Brett's like, we just hold on to your own. We're like, oh, don't do that anymore. And like,
and you've got the actual travel like wallet thing where we keep our passports,
which was a gift from you. There you go. Practical things.
So if anybody were asking me for the passport, I'm just going to give her a book.
Entertain yourself.
But yeah, we don't act like grown-ups sometimes. Oh.
I mean, do you consider yourself grown-ups?
No. I wouldn't say I was grown up.
I mean, you're both. I'm going to say like 26 for both of you, because I'm shooting in the middle now.
Brett's 26.
Okay.
I'm 24.
Okay.
25 now. 25 now.
Yeah, so like you were at that stage. This was a conversation I had with James, because we discussed getting old because we're both 28, and we both feel old, but we're not old because we're 28.
Which James?
Charles Smith.
What?
He's like 27, 28. And obviously I turned 29 this year, so I'm like staring down the 30. But I feel like I'm old already. Whereas like you're both in your 20s, middle of the 20s, as close as you can get. Do you feel adults?
No.
Grown-ups?
It's like, so we always get the question similar to like this is like people ask you if you're grown up. It's like when people ask if we live here. So anyway, people cars pull over and like, excuse me, do you live here? Because they're clearly looking for directions. Quite often me and Brett are like, no, we've been here for 5 years now. We're definitely locals now. But yeah, I wouldn't class myself as an adult.
But then when do you class yourself as an adult? Because me and James were discussing was...
feed myself healthy food on a consistent basis.
See, I don't even think you can class yourself as adult. Otherwise, I know lots of 40-year-old people who are not adults.
Like a lot of people I know at school, or who are in my year at school, have got kids and families and everything. I'm like, no, I can't even feed myself healthy food, let alone a smaller person. Like
a tiny Brett.
They're doomed.
A Brett Jr.
They're doomed.
God. They're doomed. Yeah.
Just name your child Brett Jr.
Again, most people can't even like pronounce Brett anyway. Why would you call another one? Brett, or was it Brad?
Brad.
What do you have? Brat.
Right. Brad instead.
But like people are like, oh, so Brett's like, they're like, oh, sorry, what's your name, sir? Like, oh, Brett Knights. Oh, Brad Knights is here to see you. No, Brett. Got some T's in there. But a perfect example of us not being grown up is, so we were coming back from town the other day, and there was this girl and this guy passing our front window. So she was on the street. This guy stops, turns, and then looks my window, and then goes, "Oh my god, have you seen that?" So in my window, I've got like a few little like ornaments and stuff, a picture, like a family picture, and then I've got some other stuff in there. But then I've also got a picture of Nicolas Cage in my window.
I feel like you can be an adult and have that though.
Can you?
Well, the thing is, like, our generation, when they become adults, are going to be so weird compared to like our parents who are adults.
Do you think though? Because I don't.
Yes.
I think all our generations have been as weird. We've just had like ours has had the longest to explore the weirdness because you're not expected to have kids when you're like 22. You know, you get through that stage and then you roll on a bit. We don't own houses by the time we're 30.
It's just like, okay, I also get excited by this, but my parents get excited when they see like a nice clock.
Yes.
They can hang on the wall.
Yeah.
I get excited when I see a sweet ass poster of game characters. I'm like, that's never coming down from my wall.
But then I think like your parents still get excited by little things. You just maybe don't see it because they're your parents.
That's true.
Like when you meet, like it's like when this is the whole like uncle parent debate or like auntie and uncle parent debate. So you see your aunties and uncles as adults, but adults with interests. Because you're like, oh, so you're my uncle, you're really into rock music, or you're really into this. You're like, oh, my auntie, you're really into,
That's a good point, actually.
this ice skating and stuff like that. So you automatically see their interests before you see them as like a parental figure. Whereas your parents, you focus on the fact that they raised you, nurtured you for however many years, and you completely ignore their interests until you get to an adult point and you're like, oh yeah, wait, hang on a minute, you really like this.
But does your mum watch this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which is fine.
Okay, no, because I just remember, because I don't think my mum has many interests, and I think I remember you saying your mum doesn't have many interests.
No, but this is what I'm kind of like realising in the last like 6 months or so, was that she does have interests, I just don't know them.
Oh.
Because the interests I know of her are very default. They're very sewing, Snoopy, David Essex.
Actually, my mum likes David Essex.
You know, it's very along those lines, and I know very little about her like outside general life. And the same with my dad. Like, he likes bikes, he likes building cars, he likes working with his hands and stuff like that. But he does art stuff as well. But like outside of that, I don't know much of his life because I've never had that conversation with him. Whereas like my uncle, I know loads of stuff about his like general life because I got introduced to his interests first.
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially parents have to care for you first. They
Yeah.
don't go, I like to do these things with my spare time.
Yeah.
Because in their spare time is caring for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I feel like when we get to adults, like your kids won't see your interests as the first thing because you're always going to be their parent. Because regardless of how much they like comics or games and stuff, at some point you're going to have to be like, no, shut the fuck up, DM.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we are a weird generation. There's no denying that.
I think we're proper smacked in the middle.
Yeah.
I think I talked to you about this before. Just like, we've still got parents being like, why aren't you getting married and having babies? But then you got like peers and younger generation being like, why are you going to explore the world and go to Thailand and live there for a year? And you're like, because, well, I've also got responsibilities and bills to pay, but I also want to do that thing as well. And we're like jammed between two generations of people, I think, that have very different, like, what was the word? Like, motives.
Yeah. And life outlooks.
Well, for example, I was working with a client who, one of my colleagues' clients is like 19, and he's like, I've got Snapchat, don't get me wrong, but he's like super into Snapchat. Like, everything is Snapchat, everything's on Snapchat, everything's on these new dating apps that aren't Tinder, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this is like, wow, this is intense. But he just has a completely different, but then he's like, oh, I've just grown up with that. I'm like, yeah, I suppose. Like, I've grown up with technology, but I've not grown up with, like when me and Brett met, Tinder didn't exist.
No.
Like, things like dating sites, websites will look down on. Like, you don't meet people through dating websites. Like, in my opinion, my friends were, at that time, were like, oh no, dating websites are for losers, basically, essentially.
I think when I was younger, dating sites there was only like one prevalent one.
Matchmade.com, whatever it is.
No, like the one we heard about was Adult Friend Finder. And it was for like lonely married people who were looking for hookups.
Oh.
It was basically just porn.
Wow.
And like that was the only one which was like everything else was
yeah, the
like
only one I really
up.
knew of was like Match.com, and then I moved to Lincoln, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, Plenty of Fish." I was like, "What is Plenty of Fish?" And they're like, "That is a date." And then I started my world of work career, and then like 3 people in my office are married to people they met on internet dating websites.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now I'm confused. Like, I'm really confused. Like, is that? And then obviously then Tinder came to be, and that was went from there really. But
it does make me wonder, like back when I was very young, when dating websites weren't a thing because the internet wasn't a thing. Sure, I'm a nice age here, but like the equivalent was the adverts in the back of papers and magazines.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder how many of them came to fruition.
Well, I went to a wedding anniversary 2 years ago, and they met each other. It's like my mum's friend met each other through classifieds. Is that what they're called? Like, the classifieds.
Classified ads, yeah.
Yeah, it was like their 35th wedding anniversary or something like that. But like they met each other through classifieds, and I was like, I wonder back then, was that considered to be weird? And then she actually said in her little speech she did, she was like, oh, I told my mum I was going on this date with a man that I'd met in the newspaper, and she told me I was mad. Like, and it's a bit like now when people are like, oh, people just meet people from Tinder and like they hook up, and I'm like, yeah, I suppose that's been going on for a long time. that just didn't really think
this
about
is just
it.
more streamlined.
Yeah, just not having to buy a newspaper every day and
Yeah, make a phone call and listen to a recording of someone like saying what they like.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we've not really experienced the whole Tinder thing.
You're not missing out.
No, I know. From friends, knowing of friends who've gone through Tinder, I know I'm not really missing out, but you got quiet, I'm sorry.
I was tired.
See, that's adult behaviour, being tired.
All the time.
We have lives and jobs. We're all tired, we just can't.
Like, night shift for how long? For like so long, how would you do it? And just like, tired all the time. That's a secret. Just be tired.
Like the Hulk, just tell
Yeah, it is this.
Because I wake up, I'm like excited for about what? Well, I say excited. I'm awake for like an hour, and after that, I'm like, I'm getting sleepy. I need to now maintain this state for like the next like 10 hours.
I was like, I put a selfie on Instagram the other day because I'm a vain bastard. And it was just me with a coffee, but it was me with a coffee in bed. And then a friend commented on it. It's just like, I love the fact that you got up, made a coffee, and then went back to bed. That's literally impossible for me. And I was like, why? It's like, because I have 2 children. So I get up, I make coffee, and then there's no way I'd make it back to bed without being hassled by children. I was like, that's beautiful. I didn't realise that was such a privilege that I have.
The dream. Is
to be fair, I realised I went to my sister's recently, and we'd always joke, like, oh no, everyone always goes, oh, so how long have you been together? And you're 6 years, oh, have you thought about having children? And literally both of us were always like, no. And everyone's always like, oh, do you not feel prudy or anything? And I'm like, no, and Brett doesn't, and no. But I love my niece. My niece is the best thing ever. But I went back home for a weekend, and after 3 days of just looking after her during the day, I was like, I'm gonna die now. Like, I'm just gonna... Because she was great, but she's just learning to walk, so everything is constant go. Like, everything is everywhere all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be hard. Like, I'm 25, and I can't even manage taking care of a child during the day for 3 days without dying. My sister has to do that every night. And she's like 34.
Yeah, I really don't understand. Like, I don't understand people who are young.
That's why I'm not a grown up.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because then if you say that, it makes it seem like you have to have kids to be a grown up, which means I'd never grow up.
You're not ever gonna have kids? Oh my god, that's a big question.
Live forever.
That's gonna be a big question for a podcast. Well, we're really just like whatever. We want to go on a bunch more holidays, and we want to go on a bunch more like everything. Yeah. I want to make a game, and I want to travel a lot more places than currently I'm doing, because responsibilities and life and stuff.
But that's adulthood. That's adult.
Oh yeah.
If you weren't an adult, then you'd be just like, fuck it, here's a credit card, I'll go do all that anyway.
I have a credit card, but I'm too afraid to use it.
Exactly. that is adult. It's that overarching fear of doing anything, because you're like, I could fuck up everything if I do one thing wrong.
What did you say to me yesterday? Oh, your friend contacted you, Josh, and asked you.
What is free? I was like, I don't know why. It's, girlfriend's like back in town. We want to come see her. I was like, right, okay. Like, we could go to the Devil's Arse. The what? Right, some place in the Peak District where this cave just drips on like minerals.
I know about Devil's Arse. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's in Castleton.
We were just like, and then there's loads of stuff me and Brett keep talking about, like seeing friends and whatever, and just doing stuff. And we're like, yeah, we should just like just doing stuff and not worry about like responsibilities. And then we get tired and sit and watch TV for the whole day. And then we're like, yeah, we want to do that instead.
That is a trap. Like,
it's a trap.
If you want to do stuff, that is a trap. Like waking up and then just deciding to stay.
We do stuff.
Yeah, we do. What you get so upset for? We do stuff. Yeah, we do.
I think we're reaching these gradual moments where you keep having to defend your decisions.
Yeah, but sometimes we have legit reasons, like shift patterns and whatever. We're not talking about work, but like shift patterns for both jobs and whatever. But we love what we do, so it's not a problem. But it's just things and stuff and life and things. It's interesting. We should have brought the topics we originally brought because you hate feminists. And that would have been hilarious to talk about.
I feel like that's quite a blank statement to make on a live podcast.
Oh, do you agree? Do you not agree?
Right, okay, there's a question. So we'll set it up as question-wise. So in terms of feminism, are you sitting on the side of yes feminism, no feminism, or just yeah that exists as a thing?
There's a problem that, you know, some places women get treated like shit, and that ain't good. I agree that everyone should be treated equally, but I'm not going to be a twat about it.
Okay.
That's my issue. My issue isn't with feminism as a whole, it's the not.
Yeah.
Who are all just blind arguments with just like completely biased facts, biased figures, and just like shut up.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that's essentially what we broke it down to at the end of the last podcast. Was that it wasn't so much the message you had an issue with,
as a
it was the
YouTuber,
way it was presented.
YouTuber I like, by definition, is like a feminist channel,
Mm-hmm.
but she absolutely rips into the stupid arguments. Like, whenever it's like, oh, the gender pay gap, and she just has this like red button that she hits, and it's got a recording of her saying, like, you know, it doesn't take into stats the fact that, like, you know, men are the higher paid positions, men tend to work like different hours, women work different jobs, that's why they will get paid differently, it doesn't take into consideration all that kind of stuff. It's just like, oh, women don't get paid no, shut up.
Well, we talk about a lot of, like, I think that's what sometimes it confuses. So we can get into quite a good debate about lots of political subjects, but we never fall out about it.
No.
But I think that's good. I mean, to bring it to kind of your relationships and stuff, is like, I think if you're with someone, you have to be able to do that. I don't think you can be with someone who you can't have a serious conversation with, and at the end of it not be an argument, like a full-blown breaking argument.
Because what we were talking about, we talked about plastic waste. That's another one that comes up a lot in our household. Plastic waste.
You make little plastic models. That's pretty wasteful, bro.
The elections when they came around, that was interesting. That was a big one. What else we talked about loads of stuff. We just like get into these conversations, but luckily, thank God, we seem to align on the similar side most times. Sometimes there's like things. But this is another thing about relationships, right? The reason I wanted to bring it. Me and Brett don't really fight.
Okay.
Ever.
Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, though? Because I've had this conversation with people, like with my ex, we never really fought. We never had argument.
Oh no.
Ever.
Yours ended like
until
not in a great way.
You know, the end. But then at the end, we didn't even argue. It was all discussed. Did it very, very not amicably, but adult-wise. And I never saw it as a bad thing that we never argued. But other people have been like, no, you have to argue. At some point, you have to argue, otherwise you're lying. And I was like, no, that can't be true, because you just talk about things.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. So, right, so for example, this morning, very, very, very basically this morning, I was trying to set up a new payment for our new rental company for our house.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brett said, oh yeah, I'll send you all the details. And I said, okay, cool. And then he sent me the wrong details. And I just sent him a message like, you sent me the wrong details. Angry emoji. On the thing. And then you could...
This is not how I remember this argument.
Is that what it was?
It's the one with the one, like the huffy.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, right. So, and then he was like, "What do you mean?" And then I just called him later, and I was like, "You dumb idiot!" Like,
oh, it is.
What did you think it was?
And what is that guy doing this?
Show it to Graham.
Okay.
I thought I like his little hands.
Yeah, there could be hands, but I see that as steam.
Yeah, Stephen. Then he called me, and I was like, "You big dumb idiot! You sent me the wrong sort code." Did I? Sorry. Done. Like, I know other couples that will. So, for example,
that will linger. Like,
yeah, that will linger. Then it'll be a tiny thing like making the wrong order at a restaurant, or forgetting to turn off the heating, will turn into a raging and I'm just like, if we ever get to the point where we're like quite annoyed, we just walk away from each other.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and be like, oh, this is why I was cross. And then they were, this is why I was cross. And then we go, okay.
The worst I ever got was we were in Philadelphia on holiday.
Born and raised. Sorry. Did we argue in Philadelphia?
We did, because we looked at
So
a map.
you don't realise.
So we looked at a map.
No, I was about to hit like.
And we were like, right, we're in Philadelphia, we're going to get a Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
I was like, okay, cool. I was looking
We
around.
didn't
I
argue.
was looking around like this map thing.
Yeah.
We fought like a little bit.
Yeah.
We was looking at this map thing. There's one. It was like, oh, you know, this is pretty good. Look at it. And it's like, okay, you know, we'll go there. It's not too far away from like the Liberty Bell. So okay, cool. We went around like the Liberty Bell and everything. We're like, right, let's go find some food. I was looking at the map and I was like, right, I'm pretty sure it's like this way. We started going down there. So I was like, where is it? How much further? I was like, I don't know where it is. I think it's just somewhere around this corner. Look, it's like, you've taken us the wrong bloody way. And I was like, I haven't.
Right.
But
Contributing factors.
we are both awful to each other when we are both hungry / tired / both.
And
Like-
how hot was it?
Oh, it was so hot and humid and horrible.
It was about 35 degrees.
Right.
It was probably higher than that because we'd had 40 degrees when we were in America. And we decided to do all these things because it was quite a whistle-stop holiday and it was towards the end, to be fair. And we were just very tired. And then Brett had gone, I really want to go to this place. But just read the map wrong. And then we found out where it was and we walked there and we found it and it was great. And we had the sandwich and we said sorry.
And it was totally worth it.
And it was totally worth it. It was totally
That
worth
sandwich
it.
is great.
But yeah, we didn't really fight. Like again, though, it wasn't like a raging
Yeah.
Door
fight,
slamming.
like door slamming, punch him in the face, you big idiot fight. It was just a
Snap.
come on, like what are we doing thing. And I think that's good. I think the problem is that when people fight sometimes, one of them either backs down because they're like, oh, I'm bored of this, but then they never truly says what they want to say because they don't want it to get even worse than it already is, or they get completely out of it, like completely crazy mad, and don't talk to each other for like 4 or 5 days. And I think that's even worse because like then you're not really resolving the issue other than screaming at each other. And I just don't think he gets it out. Please don't cheat on me with somebody else. And leave me.
No, I agree.
For someone you can argue with.
For someone that you can argue with. But then I don't know that actually. Brett's family don't really argue.
Yeah.
Like parents, like they like his mums can snap sometimes. But my mum has never taught us to like. She never rowed at us. Like we didn't do our. We always used to laugh. She's got the dreaded eyebrow. So my mum raises one eyebrow, and then you've done something wrong, and then she goes, "I'm disappointed in you," and you go. And then that's the more terrifying than anything possible. And Brett's mum's the same. Like she can shout at you, but she's not like raging.
Well, no, she doesn't shout at me now.
No, you're an adult now. But yeah, she doesn't really like her like Brett's mum and dad don't really fight. Like they'll just go, "Oh, you stupid idiot," and they go, "Oh, sorry," and then they move on. So I think it's potentially why we don't, as well, because like, we're taught not to like.
It's a lot of effort to fight.
It's so much effort to
There's
fight.
so much effort.
You normally bail and say sorry early though.
I do.
But right, when Brett is tired and I'm hungry, that's it. We both rage, and that's.
So we have to talk to each other until we find food or coffee or both.
Yeah, I think that's true. There used to be a thing of Janine. If you're watching this, you know I do this. So my ex Janine, if she's not eating, she gets grumpy. So I'd go find food before the grumpiness gets in, and that was always a rule that we had.
Yeah.
It was like, I know you're going to get irritable, so we're going to go find some food.
It's the same now. If I come home from work and I know I've had a bad day, or I'm hormonal, or I'm hungry, I walk in through the door and Brett will go, "Oh hi," and he'll run up to me and I'll go, "I'm really hungry or tired or hormonal or whatever, like insert reason here." And he goes, "Okay," and then walks away, and then I go and get food and whatever, and then I approach him when I'm ready. But then he does the same thing. So if I come downstairs and he's not really talking or whatever, I'll go, "Are you tired?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'll go, "Okay, I'll leave you to it. Do you want me to make you a coffee?" And then, because then we know we won't fight.
Okay, so I got a concept for you both. So.
Oh no, you're doing devil's advocate, aren't you?
No. I'm
Okay.
just curious what you think. So as people who don't argue particularly, and you have no rush to get married or have kids, but the amount of people I see who get into regular screaming matches on like the street or like really like angry towards each other, who absolutely rush to get married or get married really young, is quite numerous.
Yes.
So would you think that they do that to kind of hold their relationship together? And that the reason you guys don't pursue that as well might be because you don't have a fear of losing each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that it?
So, Yeah.
I know. I just
Yeah.
think it's like from that point of view, like from that you could. I think it seems
I
like
know
people
s-
just like get
well,
married
yeah, I know of
because they're
several
worried their
relationships.
relationship will end.
I know of several
Probably-
relationships where people get married really quickly,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why have they got married so quickly? They've got like a really turbulent relationship, and I do think potentially the man goes, oh, if I get, often the man, it doesn't have to be the man, it can be the woman, goes, I think it's that everything will be fixed when
Yeah.
argument.
If we get married,
Like-
if we have a kid, it'll solve it.
If we get married, it will be fixed.
Yeah.
If we have children, it will be okay. But you can apply that to anything. When I get home, things will be better from work, for example, or from school or college or whatever anyone's doing. That you go, when I do that, it will be better then. And
Yeah.
I think that's potentially. Do you agree? Whereas we don't. We're just happy. We're just happy. Are we happy?
Yes.
Oh no! Now I look like everyone's gonna like I'm brainwashing you.
No,
You're
no,
happy,
yeah.
right?
You're happy, right?
You're right. You
No,
have.
no, we are.
Blink twice if you need to escape.
No, and I think that's the other thing. We both do very different. We both do very different jobs, and I think that's another thing that keeps things interesting, because we also have no concept of the other person's job really.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know what Brett did, and Brett wouldn't know what I did, and sometimes I'll come home and I'll be like, I dealt with this, and this today, and he goes, okay, and then he'll go, I did, like, well, he can't really tell me what he does, but like, it was really stressful because we had all this stuff happen today, and it was really busy, and I go, okay, cool, but I don't know what that means, like, I don't know what busy is in those concepts.
Do you think you could be together if you worked together?
No, I actually joked.
Because that's the thing which I've considered a few times. I'm like, I don't know if I could potentially date someone I'd work with, because I'd see them every day and then I go home and see them.
Like,
We're also
it's nice
just-
that it is. It's nice that it is. Like, there's like good 8 hours of the day where it's me.
Yeah.
My mum said she doesn't know how. She was really worried when we went on our holiday to America that we would kill each other because we spend lots of time apart. So we have approximately 2 to 3 hours a night, and then probably about 12 hours over the weekend where we're together. So when we were going on a 10-day holiday where we were together all day, every day, for 10 days, my mum was like, I thought we were going to kill each other. And I was like, no, but it's not like that. We actually like spending time with each other. But when we're at work, I know I'm very different to how I am at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Brett is, from how he's described the things he has to kind of be in charge of, people management, that he is very different when he's at work. And I would hate that, because I'd be like, why are you different at work and at home? Even though I know that there's a reason why you are. Everyone's different when they're at work and when they're at home. Well, most people are different when they're at work when they're at home, because they put on a face of, especially when you're a manager, or for example, I manage people, I work with people, you have to be a certain person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, reasons and stuff. So, I think, because we were saying about how many people that are at your workplace that are together, and I was like, I imagine that must be hell. 24 hours a day with each other, every day. And then everyone's like, no, that's great. But I'm like, no.
It's too much. I mean, there's some, my parents have just recently retired, and my mum was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with him at home all the time. He's worked for 40 years or so, full time on shifts, used to having this time. So just chill out, you'll be fine.
Well,
You'll
also
both just do their own thing.
Yeah, you wonder why, you wonder why old people join groups and clubs and knitting classes, and you're like, because they don't want to be with they don't want to be with them, but they want to have things to do other than just talk to the other person all the time.
Well, my mum was she started working in a charity shop.
Oh, that's
and I was
cute.
like, just get a temp job. Go do some volunteering or something.
Yeah.
It'll get you out of the house. You'll be able to be away. My dad's very much like me. He could stay home all day and just do stuff. He'd find himself things to do. He'd make himself projects. And it's he'd be fine. But yeah, my mum was just like, you need to do something. Go out and do something. Or you'll drive yourself insane.
The same as me and Brett. Brett could be, I remember when it was really busy a while ago, he was in the house for 3 days solid, and I was like, bro, have you seen the sunshine? And he's like, no. And
I think what Greg is saying is they'll find something to do, productive. Mine's not productive. Mine's playing games.
yeah, I know, but he can be in the house for it. He can just stay in the house and not worry about seeing other people or doing anything specific. Whereas if I'm in the house for more than a few hours on my own, I'm like, unless I'm going to sleep, I want to go out and do something.
Yeah.
So we're very different. When we go to his parents' house, Brett loves it because they live in a small town in the middle of Norfolk, and I'm like, what things are we doing? What are we doing? Can I walk the dogs? Can I walk the dogs? Can I play with the dogs? Can I play with the dogs? Don't get me wrong, sometimes it's nice to just chill, but Brett's just like, no, I love this. I just sit in front of the TV all day and do nothing. I'm like, how? But I think that's what keeps us, we are different in that sense. And we both love dogs. So that's a great common denominator.
You can do the classic get a dog to pretend you're a child thing, which everyone does. If we practice.
Don't. We went to our friend's house and they had cats the other day, and we both just turned into bloody children. We were like, oh, look at this cute little thing. Yeah, like, no, we're not going to get a dog anyway until we move house. Until we buy a house. Then we'll be grown-ups, I think, when we buy a house. Are you grown up when you buy a house?
I mean, I don't think I'd consider myself grown up if I bought a house. I'd just be a teenager with a house.
Yeah.
Still often hear myself think, like, when I grow up, I want to be this. And I'm like, I am grown up.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you can't have those thoughts because then you look in the mirror and you're like, shit, beat me.
Sometimes I wonder what all those things were that parents said they were going to tell you when you were growing up. Like, I'll tell you when you're older.
Mine sat down and told me.
No.
Is this why you can't have a baby?
The longest, like, to be continued. I'll tell you when you're older, to be continued.
You reach 65 and they're like, yeah, no,
Season
it's
2.
not quite ready.
Season 2 starts off 35 years ago.
I know, when a man and a woman love each other very much, I know what happens. But, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was other times, like, I remember once my uncle went on, like, a really long trip, and then I was like, oh, where's he going? And then Mum was like, I'll tell you when you're older. And I was like, what? Like, where's he going? Like, what was he doing? And then I remember other things, like, to be fair, some of the things I understand, like, when you're really young and, like, for example, like, family members are ill and they go to hospital and they're like, oh, why are they in hospital? And they're like, oh, I'll tell you when you're older, like, or I'll talk to you about it when you're older. But, yeah, I just always wonder what all those things were.
You should go back and ask. You should make a list of everything they put off telling you, and you should just go back and ask. I'd do that. That'd be great.
My memory's terrible at the best of times.
You are a goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like all those moments with, like, drama which you completely missed. So, like, obviously, we have friends and family and stuff, and we know about everyone's drama at 20.
Yeah.
So when your parents were, like, 20, the same amount of drama would have been happening. Such and such would have been going out with such and such. Someone would have cheated on someone. There'd be, like, an illegitimate child somewhere. And we were completely left out of all those conversations. And now's the time.
Oh, to be fair, I'm quite good at talking about things like that with my mum. Like, recently she was like, oh yeah, one of your aunts was in, there was like a recent show on TV about, like, mental asylums.
Right.
And there was, like, a really big one in London. She's like, oh yeah, I lived opposite that house opposite that, like, mental asylum for, like, 40 years of my life. And your great aunt was in there and I didn't even know. And I was like, what? And she's like, she had religious mania. And I was like, what? Like, and there was just stuff like that. Like, I found out they have loads of cousins that are adopted, like, on my dad's side somewhere. I'm like, why have you never told me these things, like, sooner? Like, I want to know these things. I did used to when I was younger, that it's quite famous, like, when what's her face found out on EastEnders that her mum wasn't her mum because it was a sister or something like that. Yeah, I used to be convinced after that Emma, my sister, was my mum. And I'd be like, Mum, are you my actual mum? And Mum would be like, yes! And, like, it's just a TV thing.
I mean, I was convinced I was adopted as a kid. Like, full on convinced I was adopted. Because as a kid, I didn't look like any of my family. I'm the only one with curly hair. And I was the only one who was kind of outwardly creative. Like, my dad did art stuff, but because of the steel industry, had it gradually being out of him. My brother did art stuff, but it wasn't, like, visual, it wasn't on show, it was always, like, writing, like, script writing and stuff like that, and just kind of kept it very to himself. So I was convinced I was adopted as a kid. But then I got older, and now I look and sound like my brother and my dad, so...
Yeah, me and my brother and sister have always looked like each other, so I know that we're all, like, related. You look different to all your family. Are you adopted? You don't look like any of your family. Dad's got, like, loads of hair and you're, like, balding slowly, so maybe you're adopted. Maybe we should check it out. Maybe you're not even a Knights. Maybe you're a
Templar instead.
Templar. I did say we should look into his history. I was like, we should look into your history, your last days and nights. Like, you might be a knight somewhere along the line. But I was like, no, I don't think they're that creative.
No, you should do. I know my last name's just a bastardization of other names.
Is it because you're so cool?
No.
Do you get that a lot?
Not as much as I used to. When I was a kid, I used to get it like all the time. It was like one of those things, and adults would say it to you as a kid, and then now no one mentions it.
Oh.
No one. It's like occasional friend will make a pun, but no one brings it up, which I'm quite thankful for.
Damn it, I'm going to do it to all
There's a
the
respectability.
time now. I'm going to message you and be like, why are you so cool? Sorry.
I can do it with your name as well.
Oh, yeah.
Looking a little green.
Hey! That's why I was the green team at Crash Course in Brain Surgery, which you should totally come to next month. Anyone listening? Shameless plug.
No, I mean, like, we went to Crash Course together the other day.
Yeah.
And, like, I know, obviously, being on different patterns, you don't get to go to many of those things together.
Brett doesn't understand spoken word, really.
We speak
What?
English.
I do.
No, but you don't come to, like, you don't, when you come to the events, like, sometimes you're like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, when people do really deep poetry, you're like, ah.
It's just because I don't know. I dislike it when people use long words for the sake of it. It's just like you could say it like literally like a 2-syllable word. You've got to make it like a 35-syllable word.
Hey, bro, we've been to university. We know what that's like. We both have suffered that.
We have.
Did you not have that in your course? Like, where they used to add loads of random extra words, and you'd be like, why have they done this? Do you not have that?
You did psychology. Did games production.
You don't need extra words in games.
No.
What about extra words in photography? Did you give?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was it called?
Contemporary lens media.
Contemporary lens
Which is
media.
the best example of doing
that.
No, we didn't add extra words to contemporary lens media.
It was too contemporary for that.
Could have called it video and film, but no. No, I get that. But then, yeah, I mean, but maybe that's why you should write poetry. You can cut out all the crap.
No. I'm scared of what will happen.
Well, what will happen?
I don't know.
What have you
What do you
done?
imagine poetry's do?
Yeah, I was going to say, what, you hypnotise everyone and they're going to kill themselves? Like, what?
Oh, no, that's my poetry.
Huh?
No, I don't know. I thought about it, but I was like, nah.
This is actually quite interesting. We're going to be on camera together, and some people at my like events I go to, poetry boys, right, don't even know that like some of them are like, oh, you got a boyfriend? Like, yeah, like 6 years. Like, never met him. Like, and I'll bring him to like events, and people are like, oh, is this your boyfriend? Yeah. Like, been together for a long time now. Because we don't go out to places together. Like, that's
So
not
what's
true.
nice is,
That's true. It's not true. We do go out places together.
During
But,
the
like,
week,
during the week,
during
we
the
don't
week
go
when
out.
most of this stuff happens,
Yeah.
I can't go
Yes.
out.
Yeah, so
Because
people
you
don't
have a
see
job.
us. People
Yeah.
don't see us together.
Not that your relationship
I'm just
works
this
because
weird,
you're never
like...
together.
Well, no, because it happened to us. It happened to us, right? So I was playing games online with some friends,
Yeah.
and then I was playing,
No.
and I've been playing with these guys for probably about 6 months online, from friends of friends, and I just assumed that everybody knew I was with Brett, because Brett also played with us sometimes,
Right.
as a group, right? But you don't walk into a conversation, even in real life, you don't go, this is my boyfriend! Like, this one!
I mean,
So
some
on-
people do.
Yeah, well, not me. So in this like chat thing, I just always assumed that everybody knew, and then Brett was like, because also we play games in the same room,
Yeah.
so we'll have the same microphone on, and you can see that it's like we'll echo and stuff as well because obviously we're in the same room.
Right.
And yeah, this boy approached me and was like, oh yeah, so who are you going away? I was like, I'm going away. He's like, who are you going away with? And I was like, my boyfriend. And he was like, you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, he works a night shift. You've met him before, Brett. Oh, I didn't know. And he was like, I said, we've been in the same room. You played in a game with us together. We've been in the same room. You can hear a second. Oh, I just thought you were friends that live together. I just was like, we surely make that jump to, like, don't like to say people should assume.
Yeah.
But I would assume I'd make that jump and go, oh, are you together? Like,
Yeah.
like even some of the boys that I know live together, and I'm like, oh, are you like just friends? And they're like, oh yeah, we're just mates that live together. Well, obviously like, oh, you're a gay couple straight away, but like, are you friends? Oh yeah, we're friends that live together. I just thought like they would assume, but then yeah, he stopped talking to me because I was clearly no longer a romantic interest. Target acquired. So
Target lost.
get next time. Mission failed. But yeah, in conclusion, we're massive losers that don't get out enough and don't fight. Ta-da!
Pretty much.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's nice. It's the way we like to live. And we've got friends like you to keep us, entertained.
I don't want to be relied on as like entertainment. I mean, I know I put out weekly content, but still.
I tried to start listening to your podcast last night about makeup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I tried to listen to it before I went to bed and fell asleep. Your voice is just so soothing.
I've been told this a couple of times in like the last 2 months or so, and I don't hear it because I always think I sound whiny.
I don't think you sound whiny.
Yeah. Maybe it's just in my own head. You hear everything an octave higher in your head. So.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh god, I've got a really deep voice then.
Yeah.
Just dropping truth.
No, that's why people don't like the sound of their voice, isn't it?
Yeah, because you hear it differently.
You sound like well deeper like.
Well deeper like.
Yeah.
God, you're cool.
Mhm.
I mean, it's got thinking we've done 2 podcasts on dating now.
Oh, you did one with Chris Mod.
I did.
Dating 101 and Dating 102.
I did one with Mel, which was over a year ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And then one with Chris. So it's interesting to kind of do one on relationships.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know fuck all about dating, but...
Well, okay, so there you go. Classic. As a couple, what's your advice for people dating?
Hey, why don't you tell the story of how we met?
No.
Come on.
No.
Why not?
It's not a question for a start.
Well,
It'd be terrible like who wants to be a millionaire.
No, right, so dating...
But I feel
I'm trying to think of, like,
I've never really done it.
No.
No, because when we didn't really date, like... When we met, when we met each other, we were the first year of uni, freshest year.
Yeah.
So we went on lots of nights out, and we went on lots of so we used to meet each other during the day and go for a walk. But it was sometimes not always just us; it was other people as well. And there was probably only about 2 or 3 occasions where we went on specific me and Brett only, and we didn't call them dates.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time Brett said to me, I was really, really hungover one morning, and I went over to the place where he lived because it was we had lived in a communal building.
Yeah.
And they had their front room on the courtyard bit, so everyone used to congregate at their house. And we're going over there, and Brett was like, "Oh yeah, I want to get out of the house because I'm feeling so shit." And I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling so shit too." And he's like, "Oh, I should go for a walk." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So we went out for probably about 4 or 5 hours. We walked up the hill, we got a drink in the pub, and then we ended up coming back late in the evening, getting fish and chips or something, and then going back to our flats and whatever. And then after that, we went on one meal date, but we both were like, "Oh, this is really awkward," because we'd rather just have takeaway and sit in front of the TV kind of thing. And other than that, then we were just like, "Oh yeah, we're together now." We're a couple now.
I think that happens a lot in you. I'd call it I'm going to coin a term here. So it's dating by osmosis. So you submerge yourself in a large group of people as you do at uni. You never go on an official date with someone, but then you end up dating someone.
Yeah.
Because you're around them all the time.
Yes. That sounds like we put low effort. It sounds low effort.
No. Because you still within a group, you're obviously still trying to get to know someone. That's how I met Janine, was through uni. We just hung out a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just you end up focusing on someone regardless of whether you meant to or not. And then, you end up...
Yeah, and then I think that was it. And then Brett just one night was like, "Oh, do you want to be with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." We should do that. And then we were together. And then we've been on date nights and stuff since then.
Yeah.
But no, because I'm really good friends with Chris Mod.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he came on for this, he was like, "Yeah." I think even on the thing he mentioned how bad I am at dating advice. On your thing you mentioned how I'm not very good at dating advice.
I don't think you mentioned specifically, but he said his friends were bad at advice.
Yeah. That's me. Hi.
Chris.
But it's because I have no concept for... I've only ever dated, I've only ever been with, 3 people, and beyond that I've had maybe, a handful of dates. Genuinely a handful of dates. They've always just been one thing, and then that's been it.
Yeah.
And all of them have either been in pubs, where you've got to meet someone in a pub, or in a restaurant, where you're going to meet someone in a restaurant. And it's always been meeting that person through another person.
Yeah.
So whenever anyone says to me, "Oh, we get advice on dating," I'm like, "Have your friends got friends that are single?"
I think that's the easiest way to meet someone.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the better ways to meet someone. Like the whole like uni dating thing is better. It has its drawbacks because obviously you're essentially just competing with anyone else you hang around with.
Yeah.
And you don't know who you're going to upset by approaching someone or not, and then that could ruin like friend dynamics and whatnot. But yeah, like meeting someone through someone else is like the easiest way.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think that's what I would suggest. But then, as people say sometimes, like when you've used up that pool of people, or if a lot of your friends have got friends in couples, or in my specific case, I've got lots of male friends.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're like a gay male, like if I'm friends with a male, like I've got 2 gay male friends, like it's a lot harder. And then my very few female friends are either in relationships or don't live here. Yeah. So it's like when they're looking for dating advice, I'm like, well, you can't meet someone through me because they don't live near you. So it's very minimal. I think almost all my friends back home that are in relationships met through other friends, like school friends or friends for friends. Mm-hmm. And I think, we've got a friend, the one we're talking about, the Devil's Arse one. He met his girlfriend through Pokemon Go. Didn't they?
Oh, wow.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper nerds.
They met at a Pokemon Go meet. Yeah, and our other friend Sam and Alex, they met each other on internet dating thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the people we know who are together.
You probably know more of how they met because.
How did Kate and Mark meet? Do you know?
No idea.
Oh.
It's not really my go-to topic of conversation.
Our friends Mel and Tom, they met through work.
Yep.
And I know a couple of other people I know have met through work, and maybe sometimes they work together now, but met. So yeah, but no, I'm not very good at dating advice because I'm like, oh, you just meet a person and fall in love with them. That's how it went with us. Which isn't very helpful for someone who's not been in a date for a long time or was really desperately looking to meet somebody.
That's fair.
Your tiredness level has reached 100, hasn't it?
You get it, yeah.
This is where he gets back in the car and the caffeine hits him. He's like,
I'm awake. Let's go and do things.
Look at all the things.
No.
But yeah, so how about you? What would you suggest dating-wise?
Literally, I have no suggestions. Never done it.
Just don't do
What
it.
about your ex?
Just through work.
Oh,
So never.
there you go.
It does sound like we're promoting just harassing people at work.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like, go to work, find someone.
Yeah, find someone.
Don't do
But
anything
in big workplaces, I can imagine it could work. Like where you've got lots of different departments, but for some team, I got one other person on my team. That's it.
Yeah.
But for someone who works in a big workplace, I think it's probably easier than someone who works in a tiny workplace, like a little family-run office. I don't think you're going to find as many people there as you are going to.
You shouldn't hit on your family. That's
No, it's incest. Brett would know all about that, being from Norfolk. How many fingers do you have, Brett?
6.
6. Like you naturally answered it so well.
Just the casual.
A lot of incest harass haven't you got over the years? Do you think Brett sounds like he's from Norfolk?
I don't know. I've never met anyone from Norfolk apart from Brett.
You've never met anyone from Norfolk apart from
not
Brett?
anyone I know they're specifically from Norfolk, or have introduced themselves to me as being from Norfolk.
Hello, my name's Steve. Steve from Norfolk.
But sure
I don't introduce people.
But that means
you
you must not have met anyone with a traditional Norfolk accent then.
What is a traditional Norfolk accent?
Sounds like farmer. Sounds like
No, it is. It's quite farmery.
Is it very Somerset?
No.
Because this is the problem. Like people say it's farmery, but I'm from Scunthorpe and Lincolnshire, so to me a farmery accent is more Yorkshire than anything else, or it's Somerset. Those are the two farmer accents.
I'll send you something on YouTube because Brett's granddad talks sometimes and I don't even know what he's saying. He's a sweetie, but I just don't know what he's saying. Brett has to translate sometimes.
I do.
Family problems.
But yeah.
No, I think that brings us around nicely with some
What's incest?
casual incest conversation at the end of it.
But yeah.
Slowly exploring your relationship.
Yeah, I feel like we've exposed ourselves on YouTube. That's it now. It's going to go viral. We're just a weird couple. Don't be friends with Charlotte and Brett.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I feel like it's good relationship advice in terms of
once you're in a relationship.
Don't argue. If you are arguing a lot, don't rush into marriage as a solve for that argument.
Yeah.
And don't date. Just meet people through friends.
Nice.
undoing
Nailed it.
the 2 ones which we did for dating. I'm going to have to do dating 103.
Maybe use Rohypnol.
And
Don't
on
use
that
Rohypnol. Yeah, you need to find someone dating 103.
What with Rohypnol?
No.
Oh, we have fun
Someone
conversation.
else
So how are you?
Someone to talk to about dating not with Rohypnol. It isn't the 2 people you've spoken to already. But like I said, me and Brett, limited experience of dating. Couldn't really tell you much about dating.
That's fair.
Useless. But happy.
Hmm.
Charlotte and Brett's motto for life. Useless.
Title of this podcast.
Useless.
Useless but happy.
Oh god. When is this going to air?
Oh, this won't be out for a while.
Okay.
You got a good month or 2 to move out of Lincoln and get away from. So thank you for coming on.
That's okay. It's great to come. Please invite us back again to the future for Brett and Charlotte Mitosis.
Yes. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Yay!
Yay.
Bye!
We hit the record button.